Coming up on Newsbeat, we'll tell you ways to get that bronzed look without damaging your skin.
And a popular note-sharing site, a helpful study tool, or a copyright violation.
Plus, how one course offered at LSU may be getting even more difficult for students. Newsbeat starts right now.
From the Tiger TV studio in Hodges Hall, you're watching Newsbeat with Olivia Vidal and Stephen Calamusa. Weather with Alexandra Cranford. Sports with Hobie RT. And entertainment with Melissa Clark. Newsbeat, Eye on LSU.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us on this Tuesday edition of Newsbeat. I'm Stephen Calamusa.
And I'm Olivia Vidal. Thanks for joining us. With less than a month until spring break, you may have noticed an increased number of bronzed bodies on campus. Erica McManus tells us an alternative to harmful UV rays.
Spring break right around the corner. People are hitting the gym, cutting out the sweets, and tanning. Rachel Zimke, manager of Planet Beach on Highland Road, says this is their busiest time of year.
Usually have about 250 a day, like Monday through Thursday.
Lindsay LeBlanc frequents the tanning bed.
And I probably, whenever I want to tan for like something, I tan like at least like 5 times a week until I get to like the tan I want. Just so, because I don't like being pale. I'd rather be tan.
Even though tanning beds are the most preferred way to get that sun-kissed glow, overexposure can be extremely harmful to your skin, causing wrinkles and doubling your chances of skin cancer. Dermatologist Jeff Frederick offers a safe alternative if you just have to get that bronzed look.
Chemical tans are safe. They are not causing damage. So if you want the look, you can get a chemical dyed tan. That is not dangerous as far as we know.
Trisha Cochran uses Mystic Tanning.
Absolutely right.
It's just easier. You don't have to lay in a bed for so long. You just go in and you don't burn and you get an all over glow.
Making sure you and your skin stay safe this spring break. For Tiger TV, I'm Erica McManus, Eye on LSU.
Dr. Frederick also says to always wear SPF during the day, even if you're walking to and from class.
The election for student government president and vice president is today, and don't forget to cast your vote on Pause. To do that, log on to Pause, click Student Services, then click on SG Spring 2009 Election. Voting closes at 9:59 tonight. The results will be announced tomorrow afternoon. If no ticket captures more than 50% of the vote, a runoff is scheduled for March 31st.
For most students who take Econ 2030, it becomes the worst class of their college career. But the university is trying to change that. LSU will change the structure of the economics class next fall. Roya Sorrells has more on the story.
Rumors are flying around campus about how Econ 2030 will look next fall. Andrea Houston, Executive Associate Dean for ISDS, reassures students the new program is for their success. Current Econ student Jenny Armstrong says the speed of the class is her biggest problem.
We go over problems only once. There's not a lot of time for asking questions and re-going over things, so they definitely need to slow the pace of the class down.
This will be accomplished by having small, required study groups once a week. But Alice Womble says she knew how quick the class went, and that's why she enrolled in 2030.
You take 2030, you know it's going to be micro and macroeconomics, so you kind of do that to yourself.
The size of Econ 2030 is also a concern with the new design, which will allow 360 students into one class. In the fall, Econ 2030 will more than double its size. This leads some people to ask the question, is bigger really better?
Probably worse, because then there'd be even less opportunity to talk to the teacher.
There will be 8 teaching assistants for the class, but will it help? Some students think a tutoring center for economics would benefit everyone.
If you can find a graduate student who's willing to tutor you, it's going to be between $50 and $60 an hour.
Only time will tell if the new Econ 2030 classes with more students, TAs, and a study session will be a success or recycled. For Tiger TV, I'm Roya Sorrells, Eye on LSU.
Dr. Houston says the new design was not created because of poor grades, but because most students found it difficult to schedule Econ 2030.
As the end of the spring semester nears, students are finalizing their housing plans for the next school year. Students often look for amenities like workout facilities and pools, but many forget the hidden costs that come with apartment leases. Tiger Manor employees say that utility fees can drive up the price of an apartment, with things like electricity, cable, internet, and parking fees that usually aren't included on the rent. They say students should consider how far from campus their apartments are and whether or not they're on the LSU bus route.
Another student concern may be those upcoming exams. Tiger TV's Hobie Artigue shows us how some students use an internet website to get ahead.
Some see it as a useful study tool.
I like it a lot.
But others
it's just unacceptable.
See it as a menace. Noteswap.com allows students on 32 campuses nationwide to share their notes online for other students' use.
Generally, I'll look to see if there's any notes for any classes. It's nice to have something that other people have put on there.
Many students around the nation see Noteswap.com as a safe haven for student note exchanges. But whenever it comes down to copyright issues, Professor Craig Freeman seems to disagree.
I'm always happy to help students if they need help with notes. I'm concerned about any entity making money off of my work. And so to the extent that NoteSwap has ads or has any other encouragement that they make money off of my content, I'd be happy to sue them.
Other instructors seem to agree with Freeman's copyright practice by doing the same to their notes. But some, such as Professor Emily Erickson, side with the students when it comes to the note exchange site.
Any student who, writes down notes or anything is completely within their rights to do that. And in fact, their notes are actually copyrightable because it's their manner of expression of my lecture. The words that they do choose to write down, the words that they don't write down, etc.
With the writing of NoteSwap's future not written clearly, both parties have their views on what it should look like.
I think it's just a matter of time before universities start to get wise and start to do it themselves. If all your lectures are recorded by the school, and so the school gets that fee, I don't have an argument because I'm working for the school.
Bring it on, NoteSwap. I hope you do well.
For Tiger TV, I'm Hobie Artigue.
Noteswap.com was developed by a current LSU student. Still to come on Newsbeat, Lance Frank gives us a look at this week's forecast.
And later, we'll tell you about a Baton Rouge business that's being forced to close its doors.
But first, have you been in downtown Baton Rouge lately? If not, you may be surprised at the new developments. That's next on Newsbeat.